Hi, this is Kelly Maloney on Six Towns Radio.
Broadcasting to Stoke-on-Trent and the world. This is Six Towns Radio.
Okay, it's Six Towns Radio, Boston's about, and I'm going over to the telephone right now to speak to Kelly Maloney. Hello, Kelly.
Oh, hello there.
How are you doing?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Yeah.
Chilling and relaxing in the Algarve at the moment.
Very nice. Well, we've got you on the telephone today to talk about your autobiography. It's called Frankly Kelly, Becoming a Woman in a Man's World. The release date was brought forward a month. It was supposed to come out in August, but it's out now in July.
Yes, I think they felt it was worth bringing forward because of everything that was going on in the community with like Sparkle, other events going on, and sort of publicity around Caitlyn Jenner and things like that.
It's now a year since your story was released on the world, and I've been reading the book, and it tells about the day when you thought it was right to tell everyone and put it out in the media. Obviously, you remember that day. It's probably the most memorable day of your life. Yeah,
I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was either the 7th, 14th of August of last year. And yeah, it was a day that I was totally, shall we say, panic-stricken, worried about the reaction of everybody, and worried and the fear of losing the love and respect of my family.
Yeah.
But thankfully, it never went that way. It went the other way. A lot of people have been so supportive, and my family have been absolutely, well, I can't even have a word than fantastic and understanding and supportive.
Yeah. Was that the most difficult task to tell the family? Because obviously there's the boxing community, there's the media.
I was never worried about anyone else. I don't mean that rudely or arrogantly, but I the only thing I was concerned about was my mother, my 3 daughters, and other family members. 2 of my family members haven't been able to accept it. So my 2 brothers haven't accepted it as well as I would hope they would have. But, the majority have, so I think I've been very lucky, to be honest.
So yeah, most of your family were really supportive, and you've got to think about all the people that you've helped, all the people who've been sitting there thinking when your story broke, I'm in the same position and it's helped me.
Well, I think if it's helped 1, 2 people, I think I'm very pleased to know that. I didn't set out to become shall we say, a role model or a flagship bearer. I really wanted to just transition, live my life very privately. But unfortunately, because I was being stalked by a newspaper and paparazzis, I had to take a decision and try and take control of everything because I didn't want the press to be negative. I wanted it to be as positive as I could get it to be.
That can be the thing with some of the media. If you wait to bring it out yourself, they could beat you to it and sensationalise it a little bit more.
Yeah, it took a number of legal letters to stop it from happening without my consent. And eventually we agreed a deal with the Sunday Mirror, who have been very pro, not just me, pro any transsexual that they wrote about, which has been very good. I think the Sunday Mirror has changed the concept of how to report on the situation, and we're seeing a lot more positive press about transsexuals now than ever before.
Yeah. And the autobiography, was that something that you were writing before, or is that something that's been wrote in the last 12 months?
No, I was keeping a diary all the time. I'm a great believer in keeping diaries and notes. I don't keep on a regular basis, but certain things I just write down one line on a day, and that will jog my memory if I'm talking and trying to call back things. If something really special happens on that day, I write quite a big chapter in the diary. So I've always kept notes from as early as I can remember.
Yeah.
I've just restarted doing it again now. Not for another book, but just for my own sort of satisfaction. And I can look back and see where I've made mistakes or what I need to correct or what I need to understand more.
There's a story right at the end that made me laugh about you being in customs and having trouble getting through with your daughter because of the names on the passports. And she explains it by saying, she's my dad.
Yeah, that's right, yes. That's true. And it's not only happened there, it's happened at a couple of other places as well. You know, the same sort of thing in a hotel. My daughter's called me Dad, and people have turned around and look quite startled. So it's quite, you know, it's one of the, if you can say anything amusing about the whole transitional side of it, they're one of the things that has sort of made it a bit of fun for my daughters and myself. You know, we don't mind sort of taking the nick out of each other or firing jokes off against each other.
Another thing that you did after the news broke was go on Celebrity Big Brother. And again, you got a great reception coming out of that. Was that a difficult thing to do?
Yes, it was, but coming out was quite easy because while I was in the house, though I wasn't very good in the first few days in the house, I was absolutely probably the worst housemate to be around. I was a nightmare. I began to find myself and began to understand myself a lot more. What people have got to remember is, up until that point, I'd lived a very solitary life behind closed doors, just becoming Kelly, and the only person who really seen me was my oldest daughter and my support group, TG Pals, and so also if you trust into a house full of total strangers from all different walks of life was very daunting for me, and it took a little bit of time for me to come to terms with it, but I was very lucky to have the help of a few of the housemates in there who were very good towards me, and they helped me, and by the time I came out after 20 days, I think it was 21 days, I had totally found myself, and I was ready to face the world. Yeah. I actually wish I had gone into the house then, instead of coming out, because I think I would have done a lot better.
What message would you have for any of our listeners, anyone in a similar situation, what message would you have for them?
I would say to them, find yourself a very good counsellor. Don't be frightened to open up to the counsellor and gradually come to terms with yourself and learn to accept yourself. Because once you accept yourself, it becomes a little bit easier. I'm never going to say it's easier, because it's all, and then start telling family members and try, and if you have children, try and keep the children on your side by involving them, asking them what they think. You know, it's very hard for me to give advice, and I don't want to sound patronising to anyone, but everyone's journey is totally different and a very personal and private thing to them. But I've had to live my journey in public, and I've accepted that, and it has helped me tremendously, I must say. There are times when I wish it had happened totally different, because I have no private life, but in the other way, it has really helped me to come to terms and be accepted a lot quicker than I suppose it would have if I'd done it behind closed doors.
Yeah. And what about work now? Because I read somewhere that you might be getting back into boxing promotion, because that's been your life.
I've just got back into boxing on a very, shall we say, a low way, down the ladder quite a bit compared to where I finished it at the top. And I'm managing 3 young fighters, and I'm just going to take my time and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm really, a new chapter of my life has started. I'm discovering what's out there. I'm meeting new friends. I'm doing a lot of different things socially, and I'm totally enjoying my life now. So I don't want anything that will consume my life, and boxing to be at the top consumes your life. Frank Maloney lived boxing 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Kelly's got so much more interest and so much more other stuff going on in her life that I want to be able to enjoy my life now.
So what's the next step now in your love life? Dating? It's all online now. Is that something you've had to look into?
That's the next, probably, that's one of the next chapters of my life, dating. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'll ever date. I've been out to dinner with a couple of people. Other than that, nothing seriously has ever happened, and it's not one of my priorities.
Yeah. But
it is something that's on my list to search and see how I feel about it. But then it has to be someone very special who can accept, because of my profile and what I've been through, someone that can accept the baggage I carry, be it a male or female. I don't know that until that light goes on in my head.
Well, it's been great talking to you today, Callie. I hope the book does get your message across and the people reading it are enlightened by your story.
I hope so. And I hope it gets the right message across and it helps people understand what a transsexual really goes through. And if they know one or come across one, they treat them with respect and treat us the same way they would treat every other human being.
Yeah. Great words. Well, thank you very much for coming on the phone. We'd love to have you on again someday.
Okay, thanks very much.
All right, thank you. Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you, bye.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy your holiday with the kids. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.